Through the attorney. Can I get you my presentation?
Are you going to present tonight?
Yes. Well,
Okay, are you on the agenda?
Oh, okay, okay. Thanks. What's your name? Natalie. Natalie, nice to meet you.
Okay, well, everybody, good evening. We have a quorum, and we will call the Clayton County Animal Control Board to order. We're gonna do roll call. Marvin Dixon.
Present.
Okay, Robert, is it Hawes?
Hi guys, happy to be here.
Okay, and Gloria McCain, present. Okay, we're gonna go to the adoption of the agenda. Okay, does the chair hear a motion to approve the agenda for June 9th, 2026?
Make the motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, is there a discussion regarding the agenda? Okay. All agree for the agenda to be approved? Any
Yes.
opposers? No? Okay, the agenda passes for, that's June 9th, 2026. Okay, can the chair get a motion for the minutes for March 10th to be approved for 2026?
Move our approved
Okay, can I get a second?
minutes.
Okay, is there a discussion? Okay, all agree regarding the minutes? Okay, any opposed? Okay, minutes passed. Okay, we will hear a report from Clayton County Police Department. Would that be you, Captain Hughes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What I'm going to discuss is our stats for year-to-date up to now. And, 1 second. For 2026, we've taken in 1,080 animals, with 186 being reclaimed, 94 adoptions, and rescued 651 animals. We have had, year-to-date, we've had 29 in-shelter youth, which is, got us well below the national average of, and we're at 2.5%.
Is there any discussion? Anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll move on to old business. We do not have any old business. We have new business on the agenda. And I would like to request that we table nomination for chair and vice chair until we have the full board here, all 5. Can I get a motion to table
Motion
the
taken.
election? Okay. Can I get a second?
I second.
And all in favor? Any opposers? Okay, we will move on to the investigation of kennels, 2-person Animal Control Board member panel.
So, my name is Staff Attorney India Mitchell with Clayton County Staff Attorney's Office. The board is in a unique position right now because of the fact that the previous chair, Mr. Gordon, he is no longer on the board. He had begun an initiative through working with constituent requesters. There was going to be a 2-member panel that was going to conduct kennel investigations. I recommend that we table this issue until you have a quorum, or beyond a quorum. I think that you should have all 5 members, or at least 4 present. But the 2 individuals that were going to be on that panel, it was approved with PD leadership and everyone, but Dr. Gordon as well as Ms. Christie are no longer on the board, either one of them, and they were the 2 that were going to conduct that. So, I don't think there was any my impression is that it was just, it happened to be that way, and we have new members, and I'm looking forward to them carrying the torch with that.
Well, it
But I
has,
recommend we table that until you have additional members present.
it has been moved to table item C until September 8th, that we have a full board. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposing? Motion passed. Okay, we have questions and comments from the public. We're gonna start with, Linda Rankin.
Are you keeping time?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did she state how much time we gave?
3 minutes. Oh, I do apologize. Yes, let me read that to everyone, so I do apologize for that. Citizens will be given a 3-minute maximum time limit to speak before the board. Please note that all public comments must be limited to matters on the agenda or over matters which the governing body has jurisdiction. Speakers must maintain demeanor, and refrain from personal attacks upon board members, shouting, and using obscene language. Following 30 minutes of hearing from the public, that's 3 minutes, I'm sorry, the board will allow the remainder of the citizens who have signed up to be heard at the next Tuesday board meeting.
Thank you so much. Good evening, members of the Animal Control Board, and thank you for your service. My name is Linda Rankin, and I'm a resident of Clayton County. I'm here tonight because I believe animal welfare deserves focused leadership, transparency, and accountability. A lot of residents in this county care deeply about how animals are treated. People want to understand what's happening in the shelter. Things like intake numbers, adoption outcomes, euthanasia practices, and long-term planning. Recently, concerns about Clayton County Animal Control has received public attention, and that has started a broader conversation about whether the current system is working as well as it should or if changes are needed. I want to be clear that I'm not here to criticize employees. I know people are working under difficult conditions. My concern is about the structure and oversight of this system. I am here tonight to respectfully request that this board consider forwarding a recommendation to the Clayton County Board of Commissioners to examine whether establishing an independent animal service department would better serve our community. We believe in an independent animal service department would increase transparency and public accountability, allow greater focus on animal welfare and shelter operations, improve partnerships with rescue groups and veterinarians, increase opportunities for grants, volunteers, and donations, create leadership focused specifically on animal services, and improve public confidence in the county's animal welfare system. To move this forward is a responsible way. I respectfully ask that this board to consider forwarding the following recommendations to Clayton County Board of Commissioners: conducting an independent operational review, holding public hearings on the future of animal services, creating a citizen advisory committee, publishing shelter performance data, and presenting a feasibility study on creating an independent animal services department. In addition, I would like to share a brief observation on June 7th, 2026, when I was at the farmer's market. At that time, I only observed 3 cats in the area, and one appeared to be wearing a flea collar. I am raising this because I would like clarity on what prompted the cat trapping operation in that location, and who initiated and authorized it under county policy. I request that this information be included in the official record and followed up in writing. Our goal should be simple: a system that builds public trust, improves transparency, and ensures highest standard of care for animals in Clayton County. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You guys are good.
Okay. We have Natalie, is that
Moran.
Moran.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Before you speak, how do I get my name on that list? May I do that? Okay.
Just trying to-
Sorry to interrupt you. Are you fine? No, wait, yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
You good? Okay. Can I stand here?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Talk to everybody if I can, sort of.
Wherever you're comfortable.
All right. My name is Natalie Moran. I'm a third-party, non-affiliated volunteer that advocates for multiple counties in the state of Georgia for many years. I know I'm going to get cut off at 3 minutes and not be done. That's fine. I've given most people a packet, or you can share them. I can get your email and send you all of my data information to refer to in everything I'm saying. To begin, on March 11, 2026, the Georgia Department of Agriculture issued a violation under Rule 40-13-13-08, which is euthanasia. According to the inspection report, the veterinarian, Dr. Chastain, advised GDA that animals were being sedated using the GV20 technique prior to euthanasia. I've attached that in your second packet there. It's an inspection report from the state Department of Agriculture. You can refer to it for accuracy. It's that front page. And credibility. GDA reviewed euthanasia records and found that the majority of animals had been euthanized using intracardiac injections, approximately 90%. Atlanta News actually highlighted that for us a few weeks ago. The second page of your picture packet, you'll find a still shot of Dr. Chastain performing what she claims was the governing vessel 20 procedure. GDA issued a violation after determining the required euthanasia procedure was not followed. Questions: what corrective actions have been implemented? How is compliance being monitored moving forward? The third page of your picture packet refers to a three-way call with Major Hill and Dr. Chastain explaining that, quote, Dr. Chastain said using majority intracardiac method, quote, is easier, end quote. The American Veterinary Medical Association states intracardiac method should be last resort and not the majority. Clayton County's public Facebook page, after the March 11 failed euthanasia code Ag Department investigation, that's your last picture page, stated on March 18th, 2026, we passed our surprise inspection with 0 deficiencies. A lot of the public is concerned about the transparency and accountability of Clayton County, concerns about recent discontinued release of controlled drug usage logs, lack of written operating procedures, data integrity, and accountability. Advocates continue to request written standard operating procedures covering intake, vaccination, disease control, sanitation. My personal top interest, training and reform of animal handling and euthanasia procedures. Does Clayton have written SOPs for these functions? If not, when will they be developed? Transparency and record access. Historically, Clayton released controlled drug usage logs. After those records were used to identify euthanasia concerns, that later resulted in a GDA violation. Release of the records were discontinued. The public currently lacks access to records that previously provided an independent means of verifying euthanasia methods, drug usage, operation, compliance. Why are these records no longer being released? How can the public independently verify compliance? Continuing reporting discrepancies. Okay, I thought so in my head, 3 minutes. Yeah. No, I already knew it's too much stuff, so I want you to have a copy of it. Yeah.
Next on the list, we have a
I'll take
reading
it loud. It's okay, they can read.
I just want to speak a little bit about the staff. You know, we have been helping Clayton for the past 14 years. We're the group that raises funds to help get these dogs out each week. We have never had a problem with staff providing us information that we needed. We have got the best captain, in my opinion, that we've ever had. We have gone through, last week we had a group from Maine. They came down, they took 14 dogs. We had a tour of both facilities. They were spotless. You would not have seen anything any better. Since I started helping, they have gotten 2 rescue coordinators. They have a vet on staff. They give vaccines on intake. And when we have asked in advance, could we get rabies? When they can, they provide. But what's happening now is they are getting blasted daily when you've got a hard-working staff. And that's just not right. I'm sorry. We used to call ourselves an advocate. No longer. We are in line with Clayton because we see the good they're doing. And all of you aren't seeing it. So.
I know Maria, just so you know. She knows me too.
So that's it.
Is it? Okay, all right. Thank you. Next to Penny, is that
Cochran.
Cochran.
Hey, I'm Penny Cochran. I really am just here for the dogs, to advocate for them, to let y'all know that they are in stress there. I wish that y'all could open up the doors like most pounds or shelters, that you go in and you can see the dogs, you know, But you can't do that at Clayton County. You can't go in the doors except for the front door and that's it. And then you go around the little side and you pick up your dogs. I don't understand why there's no, you see pictures, if you ask about them, well, they're not there now, they've already been adopted, things like that. Because I've gone in there because there's a list that they have on their front counter that you can look at them. And they're not always there, something's wrong with them. I had one that I was supposed to pick up, and they decided they didn't want it to come out, then they wouldn't give it to me. I mean, and then the other one I got from there, it had a broken back. So there's just things that are going on behind the scenes that public is not seeing, whether it be good or bad. You know, I mean, both, I believe it's happening both ways, but the bad's coming out a lot more than the good, and we need the good to come out more than the bad.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Last name Weeks.
April, that would be me.
April?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it too late to put my name on the list as well?
No, ma'am.
No worries.
You did fast, you did good. You hit the highlights. This is what's not falling on deaf ears. It's the Yeah.
April Weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna stand up, I'm just gonna have a seat. I'm April Weeks, I help out with a couple of different shelters, I do transport, I foster, many dogs, whether it's, parvo puppies or, Foxy, who was almost on death's doorstep. So I love these dogs a lot. I know there are some really good people at Clayton County. I love them dearly, but there's good and bad, and I think we all can use improvement where we're at, because animal welfare in this county and across the country, across the state of Georgia, we're number 5 for euthanasia. That's horrible. So with that, I just want to ask a few questions or make a few random statements. To start off with, there was a dog a couple months ago, Bruno, that was in there. His owner was in a domestic violence altercation. The dog was shot. It was brought in. It was then taken to Saves, I believe, where the owner, the lady who was also being, in domestic violence, I'm sure she was scared for her life. It's something pretty traumatic to go through. Also having your dog shot, I'm not sure, I'd probably take a bullet over my dog. With that said, the dog was taken to Saves. There was a certain amount of money the lady could come up with to save the dog's life. She was probably $300, $400 short. I don't know exactly what happened. I would love full story, because I think there's a lot of half stories out there and people can get a little confused. But the lady, then the dog was brought back to Clayton County. I'm not sure where it was euthanized, which location. But the dog was euthanized. It said it needed to because it was in pain. When the dog was shown in the intake video, the dog did not look like it was in pain. It was kind of wagging its tail going down the hallway, able to walk. So I would love if there is a euthanasia that's something like that. If a plea could just be made, just a phone call, just a post saying like, hey, this dog is possibly suffering. We've got until a certain amount of time to get it out. Because if this lady, after she went through everything she went through to save her dog, I would have paid the balance for the dog to be saved. I had given out my credit card for up to probably $4,000 to save a dog. And I'm not a rescue, I'm just a volunteer. I'm just a person who wants to help these dogs. There are a lot of really good people at Clayton that will give us a call, and there have been a lot of dogs that have been saved, and I'm so grateful for that. But if we could stay on par with like at least making a final plea, that would be amazing. That would help you guys, everyone involved, the person, the dog, everybody. Another thing I want to touch on is parvo puppies. The injured dogs, the senior dogs, but these puppies that come in, like I sit up at night and cry over them. There's a lot of dogs that need help, so if we could at least make the pleas. Also, if we could get the antibody shot in there to save these puppies, they deserve to live.
Okay.
I'd love to know where
Sorry,
the,
ma'am, that's very much,
okay,
I'm sorry.
all right, thank you.
Okay, we
Good job.
have, Harriet Halston.
I also wanted to ask about Bruno's situation, if there could be a plea made in something like that. Because I'm sure there would be people who would pitch in, for some situation. Also, I want to express appreciation to the captains for the extra time that has been given for several dogs in the last few weeks. I'm always asking about the volunteer program. Major Hill said he would bring it up to the chief, but Major Hill's not here. I brought snacks, but he's not here. And what's the logistic advantage of having the intracardial GB20 as opposed to just doing the intravenous? Like, is it saving a lot of time? Is it saving a lot of money? We feel bad for these dogs because they're in the shelter, and we feel really bad when they need to be put down for space, but we certainly don't want them suffering at the very end. So I just want to know, is there logistics to it? Like, why do this as opposed to intravenous?
Cardiac state.
And I think that's it, but I want the volunteers program. Like, you can have like an outdoor run, but a tarp, 2 runs, have little dog interactions through the fence, get some videos, some socialization. I mean, I know I was told the dogs do go out, but I mean, it would be great for them to go out more, have more information on the dogs to get, promote them better on social media. So I think that's important. The adoption rate in Clayton is like the worst. So I think that's really important, and I've been trying to get this and nobody seems to care about it. So if there could be some consideration to the volunteer program. Get the dogs out. Look at Ball County. Ball County has a great volunteer program where they get the dogs out. They can tell all about the dog in the video. So I think that would be very helpful here.
We hear your concerns, and maybe, that depends, Captain, maybe can address some of the issues and concerns here tonight. Once we get finished, I think we have one more, and we'll see if Captain can address some of the concerns. Okay, we have, Jennifer Goolsby?
Hi, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening, my name is Jennifer Goolsby. I'm a citizen of the county, homeowner, pet owner, large animal owner as well, worked in another county. I just want to ask if I could bring up some issues, and if these issues could make it to the September 8th board meeting agenda. First, low cost spay and neuter for our community. I see our community is very reactive and not proactive. Included in that will be possibly mobile services. Our veterinarians in the metropolitan area that will do that. Mobile services. Secondly, immigrant populations are moving out and leaving pets behind. I know this very well. I'm not affiliated with any organizations, but I do spay and neuter some pets for people privately, and it's come to my attention painfully that immigrants are up and leaving cats and dogs. Next, I'm concerned about the board members being absent tonight. I'm thankful for those that are present, thankful for our captain here and those of you that came tonight, but that to me is a blemish on the board and the animal services, and sorry, but the police department as well, and our community leaders. Next, the Forest Park thing is sad and troubling. I've been personally involved in spay and neutering cats over there. One of the individuals who I helped do this is a business owner. I'm not going to state her name for privacy reasons. And she's concerned now, can we find the paperwork? She's terrified about this. She feeds them daily. They're spay and neutered, have their shots, the works, ear tips. She's very concerned about this. She took it upon herself. I assisted her, as did someone else. No private funding for that. I want to also mention Partners for Pets and Pit Posse. I see them on the internet a lot trying to help the dogs get out. And I'm hitting you with a lot of things. I hope it makes it to our agenda. The volunteers, inmates that work at the animal control that I've seen, what is the screening process for them to become volunteers? Do they have animal handling training,
Do they like
safety training, cleanliness training for, I don't know all the words, I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm an elementary teacher here. The words for transmitting germs and, being vectors for illnesses like parvo, for example. And just to summarize, again, I thank you for the hard work you've done. I was a volunteer, in British Columbia, Canada for a couple of years for animal control. So much so they ended up hiring me. I actually work behind the scenes as well. And, so I know there are solutions to these problems, and I know that we're not the only communities struggling with them. But I hope that for all of us, the safety of our community, our real estate values, our community, valuing that in general for residents and business owners, that we can improve this. It is a blemish and a tarnish to have the negative things said, but at the same time, I'm grateful for those willing to investigate and bring that forward. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, we have Susie Williamson.
It's Christy Butler.
Oh, I'm sorry, Christy Butler, I'm sorry.
So I'm Christy Butler, and as of yesterday, I'm the new director and president of Clayton County Humane Society. But before that, I'm the founder of Street Paws. I've been in rescue for 20 years. And just want to say, working with animal control, they've been great with us. We have a great relationship with them, and I know they have a really tough job, so nothing, bad about that. I know there's things to improve, but that's probably everybody. But I do want to bring up that there's been a lot of dumps in the county. We've experienced a lot of that. We were on the news over that not too long ago. And then just yesterday, Georgia Power walked in with 7 newborn puppies that were abandoned next to his truck. So I know there's a bigger problem out there, but we're full of both shelters. We don't have fosters. Poor Bonnie has been up all night feeding babies every 2 hours, and that's also was late. But it's just the resources are not even there. They're not there for the people. They're not there for us. Money's thin, programs are thin. The spay-neuter grant is coming up. She talked about spay-neuter. That grant is due on the 15th. I have called pretty much every vet I can. I cannot get these vets to partner with us to apply for the grant. Anywhere that a family that is local in Clayton County can drive to easily for this record amount of money that's coming from Department of Ag. We received that grant last year for Street Paws, and I'd like to get it for Clayton Humane, but I've only gotten one, which is all the way down, Dr. Perry, what is that, I can't draw a blank. It's a facility, but anyhow, it's not local. And then the other one was in Union City, but the prices are so high, they're not gonna be approved, and a rescue would have to pay the difference of that cost. But I cannot find a single vet otherwise to partner with us right now for that grant in Clayton County. So if anybody has any ideas, I'd appreciate to hear that. Sorry, I rubbed my hand. I did get pulled into the situation with the Bars Park cats, just because I know Kurt at Tri-City Kitties. He reached out for my support. I was interviewed by Fox 5 this week. I know it's a big situation. They're worried that they can't even go in there and try to trap the cats at this point and relocate them because of fear that they're going to be arrested. He said there's police on site, that I guess are not able to feed them and other things. So I don't know what the plan is. I know another rescue reached out, not a rescue, a resource reached out to me to try to help with those cats. If barn homes could be found to try to get them out of there, maybe we could all come together, find the cats a new place to live without them coming into animal control, because these are not the kind of cats that are going to do well in animal control.
Right.
And then again, resources. So I don't know how we can do more, or even as a county do more to be able to help the public, these people that are moving. I am bombarded every day with messages, emails, phone calls, voicemails, texts, everything from the county, and all I'm able to tell them is, we have a courtesy post program you're welcome to apply for, or we have a spay-neuter program. But it's always, I'm moving today, I need a place for my dog or cat to go, or I found a kitten in my grill, and it's just nonstop. So I feel bad for animal control, because I can tell you there is a huge difference here versus Henry County, and just even the calls I get here. And I don't have the answer, but I just wanted to speak about it. Thank you.
And I think we got the gist of it. Thank you.
That's a lot of my
Okay, now Susie Williamson. Okay.
I'm just here to advocate for the animals. I still have concerns that was from the previous meeting about the incident with Barney, where the prisoner was allowed to be handling. Where have we gotten with that? The disgusting videos that were out there of your veterinarian. That's my other question. What's been done about this veterinarian? Because I call weekly to the agriculture department, trying to get something done with her. I don't know, I think a lot of people would like to know, is she still employed by Clayton County after everything that was reported? After everything that was reported last time, those were some serious allegations. And it wasn't really just allegations, because she was on video performing everything that anybody here have reported. I have an issue about the cats. As Christy said, people are afraid to go in there and even try to help with anything of fear of being arrested. And it just seems like that the animals and the public feel retaliated against by the animal control and the police department. I just feel like that there's some serious issues here. What's being done about the employees? My biggest question is, I would like to know if that was me as a person in the public, I would be arrested and charged with animal abuse. Why are these people that work in the animal control, why are they not being charged with animal abuse? I've seen the videos from the vet, I've seen the videos from several of your employees. They're on video, there is no lying about it. But what is it that you guys are doing about that? We got some serious animal concerns here, and the animal abuse is horrible, and I'm gonna continue to make phone calls. I think the vet, you can keep looking at me and eyeballing me, I think she's horrible. I think something needs to be done, and I don't think it's just me looking for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Alright, that's all that we have on the list, and I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you for voicing your concerns and bringing to our attention. I would like to first ask if Attorney, would you like to talk on any of the matters?
I don't have any direct information regarding these.
Captain Hughes, would you like to?
Sure. I'm going to address the cats at the farmer's market first and foremost. That is not in our jurisdiction. That is in the city of Forest Park. They are handling that situation as animal control. We have a partnership with the jurisdictions or the cities within the county, and that all we do are house those animals. Whatever operation they perform, whatever decisions they make is solely upon them. Once they capture an animal, we have an agreement that we have to take them. And that's all our involvement is. I had my staff formulate a letter to our partner in rescuers for the cats so that they would not stay in our facility and just be stuck there. So when I learned of what the plans were in the farmer's market, the quickest way to have the animals brought in and taken out was to give the heads up to all of our cat rescues.
We got, not to mean to interrupt, and I know I'm not on the docket, but there is no way we can all take care of the whole county.
Well,
that's the problem. And we're trying to tell y'all this.
Hold on one second. I heard everybody, right? And Captain Hughes didn't open his mouth. Can I finish?
Yes.
I'm just asking. All right.
All right, I just had a good job.
The problem is, to your point, we don't have the capabilities of housing all of them either. I often say to people that animal control is a totally different entity from the Humane Society. Animal control, I'm gonna be transparent with you about me. As a person, Kevin does not own an animal. I was bitten by a dog when I was 7 years old, so I've never owned one. My kids had one. But I don't want anything bad to happen to these animals. My off days are Saturday and Sunday. I will call people on Saturday when I'm off to see if they can help us get animals out. Animal control is different from Humane Society. What is our main objective? Does anybody know the main objective of animal control?
Public safety.
Safety.
Correct.
If they don't come out.
And, well, this is not about that part. This is about how we have to manage the dogs. I know it is frustrating. I hear people say things about the veterinarian. I have watched the veterinarian do CPR and give mouth to mouth to an animal that she was trying to save. I've never seen her do anything malicious. We've had the Department of Agriculture come in, and as far as that report is concerned, we questioned that report. And we were told it was not a violation, it was an observation in which they felt like we were deficient. And so I guess the only phrase he could put was failed, because I think since then they've removed that report. But we have complied with everything that they've asked us to do. I think that I failed and that I did not send that information out. That is on me as a leader. But we're not doing anything to these animals that is wrong. Now, the drug logs, those were being sent out because there's a counterpart. I have a counterpart, another captain that works. Those were being sent out because we thought we could send them out. We learned through legal that we could not. I couldn't give you the definition because I deal in criminal law, not civil matters. But we learned that we couldn't do it. Training, when we found out that we were deficient in training, we're now implementing training programs. We were deficient in that, and I will admit that. But now we're implementing. These things are gonna take time, but we're gonna do those things. The doors of our facility, I've said this in many meetings, the doors of our facility are open to you, the public. You as a citizen of Clayton County are a stakeholder in what we do. You're welcome to come at any time. I've even said this, you don't even have to give me the heads up. Just show up. That's just how confident I am in the ability of my people to maintain a clean and safe facility. Just show up and say, hey, the captain said I could come and invest. Look, show them your ID to prove that you're a citizen of Clayton County. And if they call me, take them through. I have no problem with that. The inmate training, they're trained. We are deficient in employees. I can't speak on why, because that's outside of my purview. The inmates that we use them because some of them do like dogs, some of them come out, but these are minimum security inmates. These inmates are within weeks or months from being released, and so they come in and they assist because I am deficient in the amount of people that I have on my staff. And it helps out tremendously. Now, what we were not doing, we were not keeping records of how we were training them, but they were being trained. Now those records are being kept. And if you go to anybody in my staff, if I see an inmate that does something that is wrong, or if I find out that inmate is gone, I don't keep him because the animals are my concern. However, when it comes to the treatment of animals, my staff treats the animals in a way that they can remain safe. The dog, Chipotle, that was put on Facebook by one of our citizens that said that it was being choked. The dog was grabbed by the scruff. And we all know that if you grab a dog by the scruff, it does not suffocate them or stop them from breathing. It actually puts them in a docile state because they remember when mama would grab them. Correct. So that happened in that incident. Some of these dogs, when we get them, they have not been in a home for months. They are on the verge of becoming feral, if you will. So they have to handle them in the safest way possible. As you remember, we had a dog not too long ago that attacked one of our inmates and one of our employees after being injected with a microchip. The dog had scars on it like it had been fighting for its life for a very long time. They were old scars. We don't document that. What we document are temperaments. If we document every scar on a dog, my staff would be busy forever. Nobody wants to mistreat an animal. We have a concerned citizen that will put information out based on her opinion, and she stated this before. This is merely her opinion, which means she did not come to us to vet the information. Since it's not being vetted through us, she's entitled under the First Amendment to say what she wants. We cannot argue with that. But if you come to my facility, we got two, one down the hill, one on Amber Block. please, by all means, come visit. This is exactly what you're saying. You are stakeholders in the county. And I can't be more transparent than that, than to say, come visit. The problem is, everybody that's a stakeholder in Clayton County has not come to visit. I am an open book. My facilities are open. We're open Monday through Saturday to the public. Please come visit.
Okay.
If it's okay, I will speak on the controlled substance laws specifically. So I work with the county in understanding the Georgia Open Records Act and how to respond to these requests. There was an error that was made internally with animal control where there were controlled substance logs that were released inappropriately. If you're familiar with the Georgia Open Records Act and federal laws and the DEA, controlled substance logs, they maintain information regarding the handling of controlled substances and sensitive information. It's not intended for public dissemination. So I hear what your comment was I hear the desire for transparency and that those may have been helpful in understanding euthanasia, and you will not find somebody who is more pro-transparency. I want the public, India Mitchell, I want the public to be able to trust the government that serves them. Each one of you. I echo the sentiments of Captain Hughes. It is vitally important to me and to the leadership that I work with that the county the constituents can trust the leaders that work for them. Controlled substance logs are just not something that legally are able to be released due to exemptions under security exemptions, as well as the medical records exemption. So I hear that concern, but we are inundated with open records requests and are working so diligently to try and only redact what is absolutely necessary to redact, because we want you to get the information so that you can better understand what's going on behind the doors. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to talk to you afterwards.
I'd like to say thank you, India, and Attorney India, and Captain Hughes. I'd like to say thank you for speaking with the citizens, and I also like to thank the citizens for voicing your concern regarding your issues with what you see that may be happening, or maybe it's just communication. So hopefully we table some things, and we are looking at a 2-person animal control board member panel. And we were wanting to wait until September the 8th to try and select someone for the board.
So you said it's gonna be somebody from?
So it can be someone from the board, or it can be a citizen.
That's correct, and that was something that I've worked very closely with Dr. Gordon on, and it was something we were really looking forward to moving forward with the blessing of Chief Roberts and PD Legal. And I think that that's something that will create additional sense of trust
Yes,
from the
it would
public,
help
because I
with that.
want you to be able to see with your own eyes. And Chief Roberts wants that, I know for certain. So if you want to discuss collaborating afterwards, that's the reason it can't be more than 2 members from the board is because that would constitute a quorum, and then you'd have to do meeting notices and things like that. But it's something that they're passionate about and want to move the ball forward with that, so I'm happy for that to continue. Potentially, yeah. Well, I would say if you do discuss it after the meeting, you don't want to do it with more than 2 board members, because that would really be inappropriate to discuss substantive information outside. If you'd like to open that for discussion, you can add it as an additional item that if you'd like to open discussion. Well, it was part of the new business items, so it was technically on the agenda already.
Yeah. Would you like to table it to the 8th for the whole board to be?
I serve at the pleasure of the board.
My question would be, are you okay with tabling it until we have the full board?
If that's
for
what we need to
September
do,
the
I
8th.
guess.
And that way it will give you an opportunity to have your questions ready, what you would like to see take place, how we would like to structure it, if that would be fair.
The fact that you have not elected a chair and vice chair yet,
Correct.
and there's not the full 5-member panel for that vote today, to me, that would be prudent, but I also,
Well,
defer
I
your
agree,
judgment.
I just didn't want to step over, because I'm voluntold today. So if it's okay with everyone, if we could do this, and, bring this discussion again, and bring your questions, what you'd like to see, and that way we can collaborate on it and move forward. And that will be September the 8th, okay?
Will there be 5 people here
We're
September
praying that
8th?
Everybody will be
Lord
here.
willing,
We had some
okay.
city and some other.
That's
issues.
okay, I know, you
So,
can't,
yeah.
right, okay.
Hopefully we will be able to do that.
Sure.
So-
Member McCain, one thing that the board could offer today is if there's any constituents or visitors today that are interested in participating as part of that, you could get their information.
Sorry.
Okay, great.
So if there's anyone else besides Ms. Petty, if there's anyone else that's interested in being on the board, the review board, please let me have your name before or after the meeting is adjourned.
Can I ask a question? You said this is 2 community members?
2 members for the review board.
One,
Yes.
right,
One from the board
and then one
and one
citizen.
from
Is
citizen.
it limited to 2?
That's my understanding.
It's limited to, so it has to do with the Open Meetings Act. If there are more than 2 members, if you have a quorum that's on this, you would end up having to notice for a meeting because you don't want them to be discussing substantive matters outside of a formal noticed meeting. But 2 board members can serve on that, and,
But if we got 1 board member and a citizen,
that would be acceptable.
that would still,
I don't understand that.
Would it be, the Georgia Open Meetings Act.
No, the
is-
number of citizens you need on this panel.
It's the board's decision, but
Okay.
the way that it was originally going to work was there were 2 board members that were going to serve on that panel. And it's not a board, it's not a separate board, it is not a board. It would just be an informal review committee. And
But
they were
y'all-
going to visit the facility, from my understanding, the plan was for them to visit facilities, make notes about any concerns, and then, potentially bring recommendations to animal control.
but y'all are gonna make it where it's 1 and 1, right? A
Yes,
citizen.
1 and 1.
Yeah.
1 and 1. So are we all clear? Okay.
Yep.
Are there any questions and comments from the board?
I just want to introduce myself. It's my first time on the Animal Control Board, and I'm extremely excited to be here. My name is Robert Halls. I'm a retired police officer. Half of that time I was in K-9. I'm an animal lover. I'm extremely concerned about animals. That's just one of my things. I'm happy to be of service. Please, if you see me, talk to me about your concerns. I'm gonna learn as much as I can about the nature of animal control here and serve the best that I can. But I'm extremely excited to be here.
Glad to have you.
We appreciate it.
Glad to have you.
I'm Marvin Dixon. I'm a retired investigator as well. I do care about the animals, although I do not own animals. But one of my concerns is really 2 young men in my neighborhood own pit bulls. They don't keep them on a leash, and they have attacked 3 different people
Wow.
severely.
Wow.
Nothing's been done
So
about
I
that.
am concerned about that,
Yeah.
when people don't keep dogs on the leash.
I
Yeah, I agree
agree.
with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
With that being said, everyone introduce themselves.
I think we got a
I just
question.
want to introduce myself. My name is Lee Lucky. I'm a retired operating nurse. I have lived in Clayton County my entire life, so I've seen the rise and fall. What I would like to bring to the table is maybe an opportunity for us because we have high schools here. Do we have a kennel club? You know, I like to think outside the box, so perhaps maybe we can start hooking up some of these kids in school with a kennel club. Something that gets them involved, so they're over here showcasing dogs, getting dogs ready for adoption, doing little, you know, in the meantime, doing their own little dog show. There is a lot out there that we can do to reach out to these programs.
We appreciate that,
I've
man.
had enough.
We can talk, yeah, thank you very
I will
much.
be in the business. See y'all.
Our next scheduled board meeting will be September the 8th, 2026. And with that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I like him, I trust him. I do, for some reason, I talked to him last time, I trust him, I'll give you a chance.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Well,
But the fact, but shit they bring up about the dogs, like the man up here next to you.
okay.
Ma'am, I'm
Ma'am,
sorry,
we're
we just
gonna
have to
take-
keep it, we have to keep it in order. We have
Okay,
to,
well, I keep telling these people in my neighborhood, they're breeding or something, and they don't.
man, we can talk to you about it after the meeting. Thank you so very much, though. Appreciate it.
All right, with that being said,
The last time, I'm getting used to that.
can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion adjourned.
I got pushed off.
Can I get a second?
Seven.
Okay, meeting's adjourned.
I did the last time I got-
Thank you.
Right, can I get a